Okay, so we're talking about how the yellow chicks become white hens. That imagery arrives first in, was it reading 1 or reading 2? Reading, reading 2. Caitlin, do you have a page 70? Is that where everybody is? Okay. Caitlin, would you do me a favor and read some from page 70? Hey, shh. Go ahead. '70's good. You can just start with my mother and father.
Mother and father have brought a dozen cotton batting soft yellow chicks, a light box full of jostling fluff. Their feet are scratchy as twigs. As if I stand on a stool, I can lift the wire gate carefully. I take the babies and put them into the cage one by one. The trembling bodies fill the palms of my hands.
Pause. All right. If you had notes generating, then you might want to go to those notes. Remember, I was giving you lecture material on images and symbols. When we were talking about symbols, I gave you a method for examining or questioning symbols. That method involved 4 separate questions that you ask yourself. I'm going to pose one of the questions relevantly to the paragraph that Caitlin just read on page 70. Can somebody find and or remember and summarize for me the 4 questions of symbol analysis that I gave you during that lecture? Johnny?
What are the objects definitional qualities?
What are the object's definitional qualities?
How does the author describe the object?
How does the author describe the object? How does the object behave? How do the other characters interact with this object? Johnny, considering that paragraph that Caitlin just read for us, that paragraph provides us excellent evidence to answer which of those questions? What are the descriptive qualities? How does the author describe it? Okay, so in symbol analysis, let's take a look at the descriptive imagery. Pull out words for me that give strong connotations out of that paragraph. Ian starts off. Fluff. Okay, so is the fluff, what's the connotation of fluff? First, let's start positive, negative. Positive. Okay, so we're happy with fluff. Good. Give me some impressions of the word fluff. Okay, so it's comfortable. MJ, give me another impression. Cute, sure. Soft. I also get an impression of weakness or insubstantiability. Is that a word? Insubstance? No. I want to take the word insubstantial, which is an adjective, and make it a noun. Insubstantiability? That's the correct suffix. Anyway. No. I don't want to say weak. I don't want to say weak because weak is somewhat there, but insubstantial means it doesn't have much substance. Fluff doesn't have much substance. It's just fluff, right? I get the impression that when these are in the hand, they can be destroyed and crushed really easily. What other words give strong connotations within this paragraph? We have fluff. What else works? Nick? Trembling, which helps me with the insubstantial bit and gives me weakness. More? Give me one more word in there that gives a strong impression. Scratchy? What is scratchy connected to, Caitlin? I can't remember. The feet are scratchy. Okay, these little feet are scratchy, fluff, trembling. I would also pick out this word, which may seem just like an obvious word, very strong connotations with the word babies. Especially when we're talking about fluff babies that you're holding in your hand. And now Jessica's got that look on her face like, aww, which makes it all the more horrible when they're pecked to death. You guys are acting like you're surprised. Didn't you read it? Yes, but you're still sad about it. Hey, it's not as bad as the kitten, which Merrick's itching to discuss. Merrick, did you have a question or jostling? Jostling means that they're moving about, they're kind of active, so that probably adds to the cuteness factor. Right? Okay. Shh. Hey, we have excellent evidence to help us understand something about the chicks. So the chicks, let's go to question number 1. Definitional qualities of the chicks. What are they by definition, even outside of this book? They're babies, right? So they're young. What else could you say about them? They're chickens. No, it's true. They are chickens, which means they are some sort of bird, which means that they are some kind of animal. They are defenseless, so they are weak and defenseless by definition, and she can enhance that weakness by describing them as weak or insubstantial pieces of fluff. Good. So we have an image of youth, a natural image of youth and weakness. Could be, right now, that yellow or chicks, one or the other, is a symbolic representation of this weakness, this insubstantiability. It's my new word of the day. But let's see what happens. Would somebody like to continue the reading? 70, 71, about the travesty that occurs. Jessica doesn't want to. Merrick, go for it.
Before the cage where it's placed them, they are a clump of yellow puffballs. Take a little work. The white hen stops scratching and cocks her head around. The white chicks begin to leave the cluster, hopping, cheeping, and shining brown black eyes as that proceeds. One chick reaches the hen's feet. Without warning, a hen's sharp beak dabs down on the chick, up and down, deliberate as the needle on the sewing machine. A hikerling squeal, and the chick spreads its short wings like a cat as it flops forward. Again and again, the hen's beak strikes, and the chick lies on its side and on the floor, its neck twisted back, its wings outstretched. The hen lifts a scaly leg, then claws the collapsing and clutching as it stretches around the cage, bayoneting the chicks, then has their feet, their wings outspread.
Excellent. Thank you. Notice that she is not a hen. She is a white hen. Cast your eyes over to the next page. Mrs. Sujimoto reminds me of the white hen. She doesn't remind her of the hen. She reminds her of the white hen. So we have color contrast between yellow and white. We also have contrast between hen and chick. Contrast between adult. Oh, sorry. Contrast between adult and child. What is about to happen in this chapter? Anybody remember? True. Naomi's mother doesn't really talk about it, just sort of separates them and doesn't really discuss very much. But there's another pivotal event that's about to happen. Hannah.
She recalls the time she was molested by Mr.
Old Man Gowers. So, hold on. We have symbolic imagery of adult to child violence. Right? Now is it making sense? Okay. So we have symbolic imagery of the powerful taking advantage of the powerless in an extraordinarily violent fashion. One that makes us stand up and say, wow, that's awful. Why is that image there? Okay, that image is there and that symbol is there because it connects to a narrative event that's about to happen. And then you must question to yourself, well, okay, fine. So the hen and chick connects to Old Man Gowers and Naomi with the abuse, the molestation. Why is any of that in the book? Go back to where Caitlin was starting us off with imagery of the hen, the chick in today's reading. Can somebody find a passage where we might like to revisit hen imagery, especially white hen imagery, and take a look at what's going on there? Emmy, what you got? What page? 191? 181. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay, so she's just reminding us. She's saying, remember that image, remember that symbol that we had before. Throw that back into your mind. I want you to revisit it here. Why? Why is she bringing it back? What is about to be discussed? Father's coming up, but Father's in a different chapter. Let's keep it in this chapter. Merrick, you're right that Father's about to come back. Caitlin, what's about to happen in the chapter? What sort of events do we have? Or why do you think she's placing that back in our mind at this point in the novel? The boys are about to bully or intimidate Stephen, right? There's no actual fighting going on, but the boys are about to bully or intimidate Stephen. What else is about to happen? What else is happening at this point? Come on, folks, what's happening in the story? Talk to me about what's happening in the story. You're on symbol level. I want you to go back to literal level. Remember, we're always crossing this line. We're into figurative meaning, we're into literal meaning. We've got to keep transferring back and forth. Hong Kui, what's happening in the novel? Right, a bunch of kids are about to kill a chicken, so it's interesting that now the white hen is being destroyed as opposed to that. But Hong Kui, let's put that to side for the moment because that's a little bit complex. We'll deal with that in a moment. Caitlin, what else is happening in the novel? She's in the hospital, that's true. So she's in the hospital, but nobody's really put her there, right? She kind of put herself there through the drowning. It's not that Roughlock Bill tortured her or tried to drown her. So, but do you have, Caitlin, any other examples of what's going on at this point in the narrative of the powerful dealing injustice to the powerless? I can sense that I'm losing you guys. Emily, do you? Oh, okay, good. So here, let's add some clarity to this. Hens attack chicks. Boys attack Stephen. Nurse attacks Naomi or her hair. What other examples do you have?
Well, it says the yellow and yellow pair of games
Do you get a sense of what the Yellow Peril game is all about? Do anybody know what the Yellow Peril would refer to? Yeah, it's right. So this is a rather racist caricature of the Japanese culture. We refer to them as the Yellow Peril, and that would have been a fairly common term around that time. So if you look at the mechanism of the game, you see that there are a lot of little yellow pieces and very few, what color? Are they? I don't think they are. What color are the other pieces? Blue. Stay with me here. So we have the Yellow Peril game in which a bunch of little yellow pieces are being defeated by fewer blue pieces. It's an obvious racist, nationalist message about the power of white Americans to overcome Asians. So we have here the blue pieces overcoming the yellow pieces. But you guys aren't thinking broadly enough. What's happening in the novel over the entire time? What other great injustice is happening? How much more can I serve this up to you? What? Who? By whom? Thank you. The Canadian government. Yeah, now you're going, oh, yeah, I'm thinking novel. Canadian government against the Japanese Canadians. The injustice being wrought there. Do we have any other examples of injustice? You threw my kitten down the well. Isn't that what she's telling her? Yeah. And Emmy, can you or anybody else find that passage in the book, please? Last page of the chapter, right? 188. Where is... Oh, but she's described in the previous page? I'm looking for her hair. There you go. 187. That other death place by the skating rink is close to where the girl with white hair lives. Her hair is so white and fine that it flies around her like a cloud. Her eyebrows are white too. Whenever she sees me, her eyes grow narrow, blah, 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 blah. She white? Hospitals in Slocan. Is this in terms of race? Is she white, or is she Japanese? Doesn't say. She's a nurse, so chances are really good that she's wearing white. Right? You might take a look at that. Are the boys white? The first group of boys are white, right? For the most part, we have images of white associated with the left-hand side of this, the oppressors. And the hen seems to represent, or seems to be a symbolic image of that powerful that oppresses the powerless. But of course, this particular symbol will occur in a number of different places, and we see now that it's not so much the hen itself that is the deciding factor. It seems to be this color. This white color seems associated with the powerful that wreaks injustice on the powerless. Chelsea, what were you going to look at?
Well, after it talks about the nurse, it says the fairies white gown with white wings. Is that what going into?
Okay, so yes, absolutely, because she's having images from one of her storybooks, right? Of the storybooks are blue, and she's having images of white flow through her head in terms of dreams. Caitlin?
I have a question about, like, in the beginning of, like, chapter 22, when she's entering, like, the dream, and she's talking about how her father's in the hospital, and she said a chicken is in the hospital, and so father is a chicken. Is that, like...
Right, her father is a chicken.
Yeah, does that mean yellow, or does that mean...
I don't know. Hold on. Folks, I can get a sense where we're going here, and I don't want us to derail too much, and we only have a couple minutes left in the class. So what you've got is, you've got Hongqui's note about the chicken being murdered by the boys. Then father is a chicken is a dream. Man, we're going to summarize that. I'm sorry that we weren't able to summarize it, pull it together, but here's what you should do. Pay attention to white, yellow, blue, and red, and sometimes green. And sometimes green.